How did you end up getting the call to be a part of helping out with the war and all that?
Well, I don't know what he said.
How did you get the call to become part of Rosie the Riveter and help to be a part of the war?
Oh, I needed a job. So I went out there and I said, I could drill them holes. I stayed till it closed. And then I went to meet Johnson's. They hired me and I stayed till I retired.
And the love of your life was over fighting in the war. Uncle Bud was fighting in World War II. So you were here fighting here while he was over there fighting. How long had you all been married when he went to war?
Well, we got married. He was 21 and I was 20. And I can't remember what year it was.
Well, that's okay.
You know?
We'll figure it out.
I know we was married 21 years when he passed away. Yeah, he had cancer. But
they had been married.
He was the best husband.
You all were married 71 years when he passed away.
Was it 71?
Yeah. 71. Isn't that special?
Yeah, we got your wedding picture over there on the table.
Had you?
Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah.
What was it like?
I just love everybody in here. Everybody's so sweet.
I think he has another question for you,
What was it like to be on a sort of, I guess, like an assembly line almost, wasn't it? To be working on those planes? What was that like? How hard work was that?
Was it an assembly line or did you just stand underneath the plane and work?
No. It was assembly line. Because we could knock off for 5 minutes and smoke a cigarette, but I didn't smoke, see? And the girl said, oh, come on, Sally. It's fun to smoke cigarettes. So I got me some. Oh, I got so dizzy. And I didn't smoke but a short time and I quit. It made me sick. Yeah, look, he said, man.
So you were working the assembly line, so you put on a specific part. Okay.
Right.
So you were responsible for, do you remember what part of the plane you were working on?
The firebox.
The firebox, that's right. You told us that. That's when you drilled
a hole in his butt.
Oh, drilled a hole in his butt.
He hollered, oh! and the meat came out curly. And he wouldn't take his pants off to let the nurse treat him. I said, well, all you have to do is undo that and then they'll fall down. He said, nobody's going to do that to me. But we got his pants down.
and took care of it.
Do you remember how you earned your wings? You left your name badge at work and the guard wouldn't let you in?
Yeah.
Yeah, and you got mad? And you got mad and you went inside and did your job of drilling?
Oh, yeah. They had what you call a frog. Now you had to drill a straight hole, but if you went like that, it wasn't round. Well, by that time I was getting mad, so I just pulled it down like that. And they said, Sally, the boss wants you in the office. And I said, oh my Lord. He said, how did you do that? And I said, do what? That hole in the frog. And I said, put it under that drill and drilled it. No, it's long again and everything. He said something to me, made me mad. I said, I know how I did it. So when I said I pulled down like, it was perfect. Oh, I tell you, he thought I was the best one in the whole class.
So a little bit of anger got you your wings.
It makes the whole perfect. It does. Yeah.
But that's okay, you earned your wings.
Yeah, my wings. Is that all now?
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
How many planes did you help work on in World War II?
Oh, About 100 and something.
Okay, and point to where you did your work. On this plane, point to the area that you did your work.
Where's the firebox?
Right there. Put your hand under there.
Here?
Yeah. And what'd you do there? Just drill what'd you do with that firebox?
I had to drill holes in it.
Okay. And how many hours did that take you a day? You work 8 hours a day? And 7 days a week or 5 days a week? 7 days. First shift or second? First shift? Second shift. How'd you get back and forth to home? You take a bus?
You drive?
Yeah.
Yeah, you took a bus. Where'd you live? Downtown? Where?
On the west side.
West side. So a bus took you to the plant, to this Republic Aviation where Whirlpool is now, took you back and forth. What do you think the most important thing was in World War II? Go ahead and put your hand down. What's the most important for kids to know about World War II? And what is the most important thing about World War II, what Evansville did?
You built those planes?
Well, our planes, when they sent them out, they got rid of the enemy. And they would come down and there's an area where rivets go in.
And we did the best riveting, as good as anybody in the United States. Did you have a lot of friends at the airport when you were working there at Republic Aviation? And were you from here? You were from here. Who told you about the job? You just found it on advertised?
Paper.
Paper. How much you get paid an hour?
Oh, God. I don't know. I forgot.
What'd you do at night for entertainment or on the weekends for entertainment?
Went home, went to bed. Hard. I mean, they worked your butt off.
How many people lived in your house? Did you rent the house to anybody else? No.
Just me and my mother.
Can you tell us about hotbedding here or carpooling or people coming from other cities? Would you see a lot of that? Not much. Okay. Were most of them women at the plant or just you? Or just men? Most of them men or women?
Oh, no, men and women.
Both, yeah.
Yeah, the women really worked.
Yeah.
The men,
The women were better riveters than men because the men pushed too hard. How old were you when you started and how old were you when you left there? You're 100 now.
well, we got married when he was 21, and I got married to him when I was 20.
Okay.
That's
You were
about
20.
all I know.
And you meet him at the plant? Where'd you meet that guy?
Went to school with him.
At Central?
Yeah, no, Centennial.
Centennial.
And
So
Rice.
and right. So USI Centennial became USI. So you went to Centennial on St. Joe Street, and you met him there. He's 1 year younger than you. 1 year older. So he's robbing the cradle.
1942 and 1943.
What?
1942 is when you got married.
Okay, 1942, I got married.
What were his good characteristics, and what are your good characteristics at that time? What were his good characteristics?
What was good about Uncle Bud?
He thought I was the greatest woman in the whole world.
You thought he was a pretty good guy, too.
What were your best characteristics? Give me 3 of your best characteristics. A good cook.
What were your best characteristics?
What's characteristic?
What are 3 best things about you?
Oh, not my looks.
Yeah, yes it is.
They scared me when I see them. But I can cook.
You were a
What's
caregiver.
that one?
You were a great caregiver.
A who?
A caregiver.
A caregiver.
She took care of her brother, your sister, your mama.
That. If I wouldn't have y'all, I wouldn't know what to say.
Okay. Do you have anything to tell these grandkids about the future and what they should do, and your nephews, nieces, and children? What should they do for the future about American freedom?
Don't drink.
Okay. No drinking. Okay, what else?
Drink it. Don't,
All right. What else besides that?
don't smoke.
Okay, what else? You sound like a doctor. What about for our freedom, the freedom of the United States?
Oh, yeah, that'd be good.
What should the kids do to help our freedoms?
I don't know how to say that.
Well, what do you enjoy about the freedom of the United States? Do you think it's been a nice place to live?
Yes, it really is. Really, it is. You could go to a show, or you could go to church, and nobody don't say, oh, you can't do that, you know, unless you got a gun, you know. And a lot of people's got guns now. But I found out that if you got a gun, you got to shoot somebody, shoot them in the foot, because they can't run.
Well, thank you for having your 100th birthday here. It's awful nice at this museum, and your family's awful nice. You raised them right. Okay, you grew your kids and your nephews, your nieces, your grandkids right. You grew them right.
They're all nice.
Yes.
They really are. Yeah.
Thank you, and send some of your friends back or family, okay? We'd love to have them.
He's saying let's come back and visit more often.
I'm like the military. I'm like the military.
Like that?
Sally.
You going to give me lunch if I do?
We will. Free lunch, yes.
Well, I'm coming tomorrow.
All right, okay, all right, okay. Thank you. So this is Sally Overbey, 100th birthday. Everybody clap.
I don't feel big, weak or nothing. I feel strong, but I don't think I can run up a step. But I can walk up a bit.
Okay, yeah, you're awful good.
And there, you have to go up about 8 to get to my front porch. And I make that, yeah.
Good.
And when I get in,
All right. Well, thank you, Sally. Have a good day now. Thank you. Appreciate it. Okay, we got Sally Overbey here. She's 100 years of age, and she used that drill in front of her daughter there. Can her daughter pick that up? Don't break it, but I tell her that's how heavy it is, about 15 pounds. Pick it up and hold it right there. Now, Sally, tell us what you did with that, and talk on the microphone. What'd you do with that drill?
well, I have to lay it down to show you what I'm going to do.
Just tell us. Just tell us what you did.
Right here.
Wait a minute, now let me get up.
Because somebody else is going to be the assistant for this microphone. I want to do the video.
Okay.
You hold the microphone 2 inches from her head.
Oh,
Now,
get
wait a minute,
away.
you can't get in front of it. It's real here. Okay, now don't let her drop. Hey, she can't hold it by herself.
Now, my boss said,
Put it up there, 2 inches from her mouth. 1 inch.
what'd she say?
You keep talking.
Oh,
Your boss.
1
my
inch.
boss
1 inch.
said I want a hole drilled and I don't want it elongated. You hear? And I said, yeah. Well, he made me mad. So, I picked that dude up. Well, it ain't got no thing on it. Let's pretend. So I went and drilled a hole. And they tested it and it was perfect. And I was the only one that could do that. You have to do it from now on. But he got a big raise and everything, but it was me that made the hole. You want me to do it again?
Was that drill very heavy? Tell us how heavy that drill was.
Well, it's heavier than me.
Don't let her hurt herself. That's about 15 pounds.
What?
Put the microphone on her.
Oh, it's not too heavy.
Microphone.
No, microphone, don't let her
What do you
drop.
want me to do with it? Eat
Well,
it?
Well, they don't want you to get hurt.
you use that 8 hours a day? 8 hours a day, didn't your back hurt or your arms hurt after 8 hours a day with that?
Did your back and arms hurt after 8 hours a day of that?
Did you tire?
Why, no. I was strong then, you know,
Well, you were what, 22 years old?
21.
21 years old.
Yeah. And I could raise it thusly. I still can too.
And you use it, what part of the plane was what part of the plane, the
The firebox.
firebox, okay. And how many planes you do that on a day? About 10 planes a day?
Do you remember how many planes a day you worked on?
I don't think 10.
Yeah.
No.
3 or 4, each shift made 10, every day we did 10 planes. So if you did one shift, you did 3 planes probably. Yeah. Did you work in the Whirlpool factory or did you work somewhere else?
Out of Republic.
At Republic, okay, yes. What part of the line were you, at the very beginning or at the end of the line? In the middle of the plant? At the beginning of the plant?
Wait a minute.
Okay.
She's thinking.
It was, in the middle, I kind of think.
Was that plant air conditioned, and how many bathrooms and how many kitchens?
I never did count that. I know we had a hospital there. Yeah, when I drilled that hole in that person's butt. We had to take him to the hospital, and he wouldn't take his pants down. But we got him to take it down.
Why don't we put that drill down and be a little safer?
Let's hang this, lay this down, then you can sit down again. Would you like to sit down again?
Now, tell us about that plant. Sit down. Tell us about that plant. What happened to the video?
Tell us
What
about
happened to
the
her
plant.
view?
Well, what about the plant?
Here, sit
What
down.
happened to
Do you
her
remember
picture of her
about the
birthday
pole?
under there?
Well, they turned it off because we were standing in front of it.
Okay.
Well, I'll tell you.
Turn back on. Push that down.
They had a cafeteria, and they had the best cooks in Evansville. Ooh, it was so good. And I spent a lot of time in the where we eat. Yeah.
Was the plant segregated?
What's that?
Was the plant segregated?
What's that mean?
Were the blacks in one area?
Yeah.
And when you went back and forth from your home to there, was it scary in the middle of the night? Because you'd have to go home at 11 at night and get there at 4 in the afternoon. That wasn't scary?
No, because I got off at 5 o'clock.
I see. Okay.
So you worked first shift?
Okay, anything you got to tell your family or anything in Evansville about that plant?
What did he say?
What do you have something special to say about the plant where you worked?
Oh, let's see. I don't know what to tell you about the plant, although it's big, but we got some of the loveliest, nicest, kindest people in the whole world in here right now. And I don't mean maybe. I mean, they smile at you, they say hi to you, and they'll even leave a quarter in your bathroom. What they do? Yeah. I made 3 quarters today.
What was your favorite part about working in that plant? Do you remember your favorite thing about working there? Making planes?
We like to get the inspector in the plane, and sometimes we wouldn't let him come out. He'd behave if we didn't listen. Yeah.
So you get him up in the plane and he wouldn't be able to come out. What was the worst thing about working at the plant?
Worst thing. Well, excuse me. I didn't see it. It got there before I got to work. Now the airplane don't sit like that. It's kind of
Level?
and this man had been drinking. That propeller cut him right.
Oh no.
And that just killed me, and I just couldn't hardly stand to go back again. But you can't drink and do a job like that. You can't do it. You got to be sober, because that's particular, you know.
When you were at Centennial School, did you ever get in trouble at Centennial School or at Wright's? Or you were a good student?
My daddy, he had a razor strap that kept you walking high. Yeah. And he'd use it too, boy. Did you ever have to do that, Dave?
Yeah, I had to walk high.
But you made lots of friends at the plant.
Oh, yeah, I made lots of friends, just wonderful people. I was trying to see.
I don't think anybody's here that used to work at the
I
plant.
think it's that guy right there. Right there.
Well, I don't think he worked at the plant, but he's a friend.
See that? He's a friend, but he's a little young right now.
Oh, he didn't work at the plant. No, I'm sorry. I got it mixed up.
That's okay.
He's the one that
I don't
lives
think there's anybody in here who worked at the plant.
Nobody, just you.
No, I outlived every sucker in here. Boy, and this ain't my drinking day either. I don't drink it.
I know you don't drink.
But I love everybody in here. I really do. I'd give you anything I could to help you. I really would.
Any questions? You had a question? What is the question?
Ask her when she stopped driving.
When did you stop driving, Sally? When did you last drive a car?
6 months ago.
When was the last time you drove a vehicle?
About 3 weeks ago, they told me I went to get my driver's license. And he looked at it, he said, "You mean you want a driver's license?" Yeah. He said, is them your real teeth? And I said, yeah. Why did you think I was going to bite you? And he said, no. But.
Why wouldn't he give you your license? What was wrong with you?
He said I was too damn old. That's the way he put it.
Sally, remember when the policeman pulled you over?
When
You
the
got pulled over by the police?
Do you remember when you got pulled over by the police?
you got to put in the microphone.
Yeah.
I did.
Remember the policeman? Yeah, he asked you, what were you doing driving this truck?
I was trying to get my safety belt on, and I couldn't, so I just got mad. And he got me. $35 it cost me just because I wouldn't pull that up. And so I didn't like that bird.
But didn't he ask you, where did you get this truck, or what are you doing driving this truck?
Did he ask you why you were driving the truck?
Yeah.
Wait a minute, let me see.
Remember you told him where you got the truck.
Do you remember
Where you got the truck.
He did?
No, he
Did he ask me that? No, he didn't.
This is what my husband left me.
The only thing that we said was, what did he say? Take on. See, I forget so bad.
Well, here, let me ask you another question.
Huh?
You and Uncle Bud were married for 71 years. What was your favorite thing about Uncle Bud? Your husband. What was the favorite thing about Francis Overbey?
He was so good to me. Never fussed or nothing to me. And he liked my cooking. Yeah. And he loved fried potatoes. So I had a lot of fried potatoes.
Was Dr. Engel in your class at Wright's? Dr. Engel graduated from Wright's about the same time you did. Was Dr. Engel in your class?
Do you remember remember Dr. Engel from your class at Rice?
He was a football
I
player.
heard that name, but I can't put a face with it.
Okay.
I can't remember that.
Okay.
Well, I fell and hurt my head real bad, and the doctor said, "No, you're okay, Sally." But now I can't remember nothing. Nothing.
You got a great memory.
I don't think so.
When Uncle Bud came home from the war, what made you the happiest when you saw him? Do you remember seeing him for the first time when he came home from the war?
He looked like a rag picker. He wasn't cleaned up or nothing. And I said, "You do that talk? Do you look like that all the time?" "No." I said, "Well, how come you didn't get cleaned up for me?" He said, "There was no water in there." And I couldn't. I said, "Well, we'll go home and get a bath then." Oh, so I locked him in the bathroom to make sure he took a shower.
So he got cleaned up for his Sally.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. And now I charge 25 cents to use my bathroom. Yeah. I've already made 75 cents.
Yep.
75 cents.
Now, they asked you earlier, do you remember how much you made an hour to work on the plane?
I don't know how much an hour.
Do you remember how much you'd bring home in a week?
Whole bunch. But
What was the home bunch? Was it maybe like $10 or
oh heavens, no, not $10.
was it more than that?
Oh heck yeah. I wouldn't have stayed for $10.
25 a week?
No, that wasn't enough either.
50 a week?
My check was that long.
Well, those were back in the days when they hand wrote the checks.
No, these people didn't hand write. They stamped them in the office and brought them out and
Oh, okay.
Uh,
So do you have was it maybe, is $100 a week enough?
No, it wasn't that much, no. Like, I think about about $79. Hey, look at that, ain't that sweet?
Do you remember how much a gallon of milk was back during the war? Didn't you have to use coupon books, like a ration book, to go get food? Did you have to do that?
Well, there was 5 of us, and they gave us a coupon worth $5. And I never ate so much bacon in my whole life. Mom would buy a big hunk of bacon, and you knew you was going to have bacon for supper. You could smell it. Oh, it's just so good, you know. I still like bacon. I really do, and I can't find none that suits my pocketbook. It's high. It's one little thing like that, $29. Why, I'd have to eat the paper too.
Do you remember what a gallon of gas was?
Come here.
Do you remember any prices from back during the war?
Well, we had it all stationed right up at the corner.
Come here.
Okay, that's okay.
Just can't remember. Do you remember?
No, just trying to think of some things that you may remember. Like when Uncle Bud was gone to war, did he write you letters?
Oh, I wrote him a letter. Oh, did I? Boy.
Well, remember, there's children here.
I got him out the other night, and
Dolores to your left.
somebody got
Dolores.
I found
Dolores. Dolores read all my love letters to me that Bud wrote. And then that almost made me cry, because he could write a lovely letter. Just, if he said hello, it was good, you know. but he didn't smear it on, but he told you how much he missed you and all that stuff. Yeah. And I missed him, boy. I really did. Yeah. I know he's in heaven. Yeah. And I'm going to be up there with him too. Don't you kid yourself. I'm going to be up there with him. Yeah. No.
So you want to tell everybody thank you for being here? Let's say thank you for being here.
Yeah. Thank you for every one of you for being here, to be so kind as to listen to my crap. And then when I go to bed tonight, I'll say, why didn't I tell them that? Why didn't I do that?
Sally, tell us about the quarters or the pennies in your
Your roll of pennies.
Well, there was a girl that was a riveter too, and she would beat me up. Yeah. So the boys was taking my side, and they said, Sally, go to the bank and get a roll of pennies and put them in your pocket. So I did. I said, yeah, what about it? Well, put them in your hand. And then the next time she hits you, you hit her. And I'll guarantee you that roll of pennies will put her down. And boy, it did. I never went no place without the pennies in my pocket that was rolled up. No kidding. You put them pennies in there and you double it over, and you hit somebody, I'll guarantee you they'll fall on the floor. Yeah.
What'd she tell you the next week? What did she tell you the next week?
What?
What did she tell you the next week?
She asked you what you hit her with.
Huh?
She asked you what you hit her with.
Well, I just told them.
Yeah, but the girl that you hit, she said, what in the world
Oh, she said, what in the world, Sally, did you hit me with? I couldn't eat for a week. I didn't know what I did. I said, did I tell her? I said, I rolled up some pennies and held them in my hand and hit you as hard as I could. And let me tell you, you carry that in your pocket, you don't have to carry a gun. It'll knock every tooth out of your head if you hit it right. Yeah.
She became your friend.
Oh, yeah, she was my friend, yeah. But I still got my teeth, see. Now, is that it?
I think we're done.
You did good.
Okay, go.
City of Evansville, proclamation. Whereas this day, November 20th, 2022, is declared special because Henrietta Sally Overbey has demonstrated longevity in her lifetime and has lived an exemplary life of 100 years. And whereas Miss Overbey was born in Evansville on West Virginia Street, the house where she grew up is still standing. Although she didn't have children of her own, she gave back to the community and served as a crossing guard where all the children loved her. And whereas Sally worked for Meade Johnson and moved to Valley Station, Kentucky, where her husband was a machinist for the Naval Ordnance until he retired. And whereas while her husband served overseas, Sally was busy serving her country. She earned her wings from Republic Aviation for drilling perfect frogs. And no one else had accomplished that while building P-47 airplanes. Miss Overbey worked for Republic Aviation until they closed their doors in 1945. And whereas Miss Overbey has some funny tales about building the P-47s, unbeknownst to her, her boss was in the seat of one of the planes and she drilled her boss in the rear. Then therefore, it be resolved that I, Lloyd Winnicky, Mayor of the City of Evansville, do hereby proclaim November 20, 2022 as Henrietta Sally Overbey's 100th birthday in the city of Evansville, Indiana. In witness whereof, I have hereunto set my hand and caused the great seal of the city
to be affixed this 18th day of November in the year of our Lord 2022.